How you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm Nini FC, this is Blue Lions TV, and welcome to another news daily video. And for today's video, there's been a lot of very interesting stories. I'm going to be talking about NICOLAS Pepe links. I'm going to be talking about the futures of EMERSON and KOVACIC. I'm going to be talking about MICHY, and I'm going to be talking about Chelsea leaving Sky and being exclusively a web app. But before I get into anything, today's video is brought to you by the One Football app. Everyone's always telling me that they recommend it, they love it, they get their friends to sign up to it as well. What are you guys missing out for? Get the app. It's the best football companion app to have on the market currently. It's going to make your footballing experience more enjoyable, in my opinion, purely due to just how easy it is to get information, stats and news tailored to the clubs or players of your choice. If you want it, in the link in the description below will be a link to the app. But getting straight into the big story today, that's in regards to NICOLAS Pepe and his future, and reports are coming out from France, most notably Left Foot and Telefoot, and they're stating that we want Pepe to be the #1 priority. We want Pepe to be the guy that replaces Eden Hazard. Now for me, and for all you guys as well, this is only good news, but let me just break down the news and stories that's coming out. Lille's president Gerard Lopez basically confirmed that Lille will be 100% selling NICOLAS Pepe because due to the market value they can get for the player, they're a club that just can't say no to selling a player like that. Financially, he's just too good for them. Gerard Lopez, confirmed by Lewis Campos as well, have already stated that they found a replacement for NICOLAS Pepe. So basically it's just a formality. Now, not only are Bayern Munich and Arsenal interested in the player, but Paris Saint-Germain, Man United, and interestingly Inter Milan are all interested in NICOLAS Pepe, and Inter are the first club to make an official bid for the player. But the report has come out from Left Foot stating that NICOLAS Pepe isn't interested in a move to Inter Milan. And normally with these things, once a bid is placed, it means that other interested parties have to get into gear and keep things moving. Now, NICOLAS Pepe put in a top performance against Paris Saint-Germain. He's got a big possibility of being crowned the Liga and Player of the Season. He scored a goal against Paris Saint-Germain, as well as providing 2 assists for his teammates. Already in the league, the guy's got 30 scoring contributions, that's 19 goals, plus 11 assists. And by the time the season ends, I think it's a guarantee that Pepe is going to get past 20 goals for the season. Now, for me, Pepe is going to be one of the most in-demand players this summer. Let's hope that we have at least one window to conduct business in. And if we do, Pepe should be one of the priorities, I feel. Now, you guys know personally that I do like Ziyech, I would like him, but I just can't imagine us going for him. But NICOLAS Pepe is, for me, a great replacement for Eden Hazard. And here's where I give my thoughts and opinions. And immediately, the fact that we could be signing someone for the right wing that has a left foot makes me happy. That's been an area we've needed in this team for so many years now. Obviously, thank you Mourinho for messing up Robin and Salah, 2 players that should have been playing in a Chelsea shirt for a much longer time. But Pepe's here, and I feel like we could sign the player. I mean, we already know that he is a fan of the club. He said in an interview that Chelsea makes him dream. But I think one thing to consider is NICOLAS Pepe a one-season wonder? And for me, I gotta say that the guy isn't. I mean, it's his 2nd season for Lille now, where he scored more than double digits for goals in his season. He's improved exponentially compared to his last season, where he still got 13 goals for them. But you guys, don't worry, during the summer, I'm gonna be doing player analysis videos. I'm gonna be doing a big in-depth video on NICOLAS Pepe, so you guys understand the type of player he is, how he likes to play, how you could help improve this team as well. But just to put it out there right now, the guy's gonna be an upgrade for the team and the system. And it's quite annoying that we'll never see Hazard and potentially Pepe playing together. Pepe's movement is world class. It's the type of stuff we need for the team right now. But you guys in the comment section below, how you guys feeling about NICOLAS Pepe? Are you excited? Do you think we can pull it off? Comment below, let me know. But one thing's for certain, half of Europe is going to be after this guy. Moving on to a second story for the day, and this is reported by Calcio Mercato. That's in regards to Emerson and talks that his representative has held a meeting with AC Milan over a potential move. Now, of course, this came at quite a bit of a shock for all of us when we saw it on the timeline today, but Calcio Mercato was saying that Emerson's rep held talks with AC Milan on Monday. Obviously, Emerson's agent is in Brazil right now, so there's no way that he could have been holding talks with Milan. But this is where there's a distinction between a rep and an agent. Reps act on behalf of all parties, so this doesn't sound too outlandish to me. But the report concludes by stating that we'd only consider selling Emerson if we get more than 25 million euros. Now here's where I give my thoughts and opinions. Just immediately I'm thinking, this is a bit random, but what if Emerson just misses Italy and doesn't enjoy his time in London right now, you know? I've heard some things about the player which I can't disclose. I did tell you guys before that he was having disciplinary issues with Sarri, and this is what really stopped him from playing more at the start of the season. Maybe this makes sense because the report isn't saying that Chelsea are looking to actively get rid of the player. It's just stating that if a party's interested in his services, they're gonna have to cough up the money. For me though, it's kind of like a sad indictment on our recent transfer activity. Of course, an Emerson was part of a strategy where it was about signing, you know, young players with decent potential that can keep their monetary value. And in that sense, he was always a very safe investment. Still though, could it be backfiring? I mean, come on. If we did sell him for like 25 million euros, we're not profiting from the player. When you consider the money we've paid for him, his wages, bonuses and clauses, the money it costs to scout the player as well, and agent fees, are you really going to be making a massive profit on the player, especially when he hasn't lit the world up just yet? I mean, there's been lots of reasons and context for that. But again, it's another case of this useless transfer strategy that guys like Scott McCallaghan and Marina have had in place with this club. But this is going to be a question for you guys in the comment section. How do you feel about Emerson and if he potentially left? Now for me, we've got two guys in Castillo and Jada Silva that could easily do his job and might even become much better players than Emerson. Are we going to use them though? Different question, but that's for you guys to answer. Let me know in the comment section below. Moving on to the third story, that's in regards to Mateo Kovacic, and could his future be away from us next season? Potentially, because as reported by the Daily Mail, it's stating that Kova and his agent and reps have been actively talking to clubs, and one club in particular has been Zenit St. Petersburg. This could make sense. They sold Paredes to Paris Saint-Germain, and in that sense, Kova has his natural role ready for him at Zenit St. Petersburg. And come on, we have no guarantees to have to sign the player on a permanent, so it's natural that Kova's going to have contingency plans in place in case we don't make his move a permanent. Already told you guys beforehand that we're not actively pursuing to keep Kova here for next season. I think if Kova does stay, it's going to purely be down to Sarri. And for me, I do agree with Sarri. You know, if we're going to use the system, if we potentially get Champions League football for next season, we're going to be playing a lot more games. And I feel like this is where we need a strong squad. And for me, now that Sarri's here with us and not at Napoli, he has the potential access to a much stronger squad where he could potentially rotate a lot more. And if Sarri's saying that Kova could be useful for him in the team, I believe him. And I think that Sarri's making a lot of sense. I mean, come on now. How much money are we going to spend for a Jorginho replacement? We don't really have anyone actively at the club that could fulfill that role. Kova's already worked basically a season under Sarri in the system. He's well versed in it. He is able to play across different midfield positions. But I just think, you know, if anything happened to Jorginho, Kova would be the perfect replacement for him. And for me, I think it would make quite a lot of sense to sign this guy on a permanent, but that's not up to me. I'm curious though, you guys, in the comment section below, how do you feel about Kova? If you guys want him to stay, briefly tell me why. If you don't care about him and you want him to go, briefly tell me why as well. Moving on to the fourth story, that's in regards to Chelsea's plans to go fully digital with their TV service. In case you guys didn't know, when it comes to the 1st of July, there won't be any more Chelsea TV on Sky. Instead, the club have plans to produce content subscription free and on-demand content for the app and their YouTube channel. This is a bit of a big move. Business-wise, it does make sense because immediately, you know, what were the viewing figures for Chelsea Fan TV? I know that on TV, sometimes the viewing figures aren't always too crazy. Now for me, during the first year of me doing YouTube, I used to feature on this show on Sky called Fan TV. And yeah, it was a decent format. It was a bit of fun. But I asked the producer, you know, what's like a typical viewer rate for this show? And he told me on average it's between like 3,000. He said that they once peaked at 33k once. And I thought to myself, wow, YouTubers are getting way higher figures than this. Does it really make that much sense? Because when you're producing for TV, it costs a lot of money. And just with how content is obviously viewed these days, it makes a lot more sense for Chelsea's side to actively pursue it through YouTube and through their app. And for me, there was always a reason why we produced an app in the first place. There was always going to be business sense behind why we created this. It might be interesting in the future, who knows? I mean, now that we don't have to answer to Sky in that sense, we're in full control of our brands, and I'm not going to be surprised to see other Premier League clubs doing the same thing themselves. It'll be interesting though to know if Chelsea will collaborate with, content creators. Most times they do that, they only stick with the safe FIFA ones that aren't really related to the club. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really too fussed regardless, to be honest. I think it's best that fan channels separate from like the club. And to end things with a final story for today, that's in regards to Michy Batshuayi, and this story is brought to you by the Daily Post, and they're stating that Everton are interested in potentially signing the player for next season. Now, quotes are going around that we put a €45 million valuation on Michy Batshuayi. I think that's absolutely crazy if that's the case, because there's a reason why this guy's on loan every single year. No one's going to pay the big money for Michy. Now, Everton were actively pursuing Michy during the winter window, but Michy decided to go to Crystal Palace instead. Everton could do with a good striker though. Richarlison's been kind of hot and cold throughout the season. Tosin hasn't really lived up to his big money move from like last season. And Calvert-Lewin isn't that great in my opinion. One thing with Michy is you're guaranteed goals from the player. And for me, even though I like the player's personality, and I think he's a very good finisher, I've always believed that he moves to us way too soon. I think that he needed to go to a club that's like a stepping stone in that sense, where he has the luxury of being able to play week in, week out. If he messes up, it's not a big deal. I think that Batshuayi needs to improve his overall game to play for a club like us. And with how Everton are set up right now, Michy could really complement playing for them. And let's see if this move does happen in the window. But anyway, you guys, that's gonna bring an end for today's video. Please like, comment and subscribe. If you like the video, help me get more than 750 likes for today's video. I'm NICOLAS, this is Blue Lines TV. I'll see you guys later for the match preview. And of course, expect more content coming to you guys over the next few days. You guys, don't worry, Nini's got you.